Warning, this video may offend you. We hope to provoke thought and urge you to get involved in your community. The Greater Golden Horseshoe is one of the fastest growing city regions in North America. It is home to the city of Toronto, the largest city in the country and capital of Ontario. People have lived here since the last ice age, but the urban community only dates back to 1793 when British colonial officials founded the town of York. Fast track half a century and the city of Toronto would officially be formed. By 1951, the city of Toronto changed profoundly. Its boundaries encompassed an area about 1/8 the size of the present-day municipality, and most of today's suburban regions were still rural. In 1952, during the height of the post-war baby boom and its demands for affordable housing, construction began at a new suburban development known as Don Mills. Using British-inspired societal thinking and marketing of the American dream, it became a standard North American bedroom community. It would become symbolic of a massive and yet new kind of post-war suburban housing revolution dominated by large-scale developers. Side note, what's a bedroom community? Exactly what it sounds like. A community where its residents just sleep when they're not working in another city or stuck in traffic. The only commercial space found in bedroom communities are often retail services like banks, groceries, and large shopping centers. Back to the history. The post-war suburban revolution saw Toronto burst its relatively compact boundaries into an orgy of urban sprawl, which consumed some of Canada's best farmland, both within Toronto's boundary and far beyond into what was then called the Golden Horseshoe. Suburbanization, population growth, and an enormous increase in the number of cars raised demands for new roads. Although some highway expansions were stopped, many more were created to move people and cars from place to place. Over the next 40 years, the bedroom community blueprint would continue, and what was once called the Golden Horseshoe would in fact become the Greater Toronto Area. And the Greater Golden Horseshoe would now encompass an even greater area, with 110 municipal jurisdictions and communities, with boundaries as far west as Waterloo, as far east as Peterborough, and as far north as Barrie. We've sold our fertile farmland to suburban development, so now our food travels on average 1,500 miles before it hits our plate. We've cut down our forests to build more subdivisions and more barns. We've demanded ever larger single-family homes with little to no variety or care for how well they are built, but instead we focus on countertops, ensuite washrooms, 2 sinks that must be bigger and better within our friends Jane and Joe. We all demand this homogenized low density, knowing it requires huge amounts of infrastructure and electricity, putting intense pressure on our municipalities to supply service to our low density neighborhoods. And then we complain about the higher property taxes we pay. Above all this, we have become intolerant, fatter zombies of our once human selves, sleeping, waking, going from our private garages to our private cars, straight to work in our private cubicle. But maybe we'll have time for the people we live with. I said maybe, as time with our loved ones may only occur if we aren't stuck in traffic causing us to lose all of our remaining daylight hours and arrive home aggravated. Side note, the average commute time in the GTA is 80 minutes. It's official, we hold the lovely title of having the worst gridlock in all of North America, beating out LA and New York. Fortunately, there is a better way. With the creation of the Greenbelt Act and the Places That Grow Act, we now have the first steps in protecting what's left of our natural areas, revitalizing our existing neighborhoods and urban areas to accommodate more growth and support less automobile-focused living. However, suburban sprawl still persists in southern Ontario. Chronic traffic congestion is still an issue, and public cost service growth are still soaring. There may be a plan to accommodate 11.5 million people by 2031, but how do we get Greater Golden Horseshoe residents to understand that every decision we make, from the houses we buy, the places we shop, our choice in transportation, and the way we eat, has an effect not only on the quality and cost of our own lives, but on the fundamental resources on which our lives are built. A change in our behavior won't happen until we have choices. As a community, we need to make our own choices, look beyond the next 2 decades, and start planning on what challenges may persist and what new challenges may exist, and re-envision how we want our communities to look and feel in 50 years.